They say every town has a heartbeat, streets bustling with life, children laughing in yards, neighbors exchanging morning greetings. But what happens when that heartbeat suddenly stops? When a town vanishes, not in the movies, not in stories, but quietly, almost without warning. Across the world, entire towns are being abandoned, left to crumble into silence. Some are overtaken by nature, forests creeping through shattered windows and cracked asphalt. Others are empty shells of forgotten economies, where once thriving factories and shops now stand silent, echoing the dreams of those who left behind their homes, their histories, their lives. Take Centralia, Pennsylvania. In the 1980s, a coal mine fire ignited beneath the town. It burned silently underground for decades. Smoke curled from cracks in the streets. People woke each morning to warn signs and toxic gases. One by one, families left, leaving behind homes, schools, churches, everything. Today, it's almost a ghost, but the story is a stark reminder. Disasters can strike slowly, invisibly, and render an entire community untouchable. It's not always fire or environmental catastrophe. Some towns disappear because the lifeblood of their economy dries up. Factories close, mines collapse, and suddenly, there's no work, no reason to stay. Residents are forced to make a choice: cling to the past, or leave in search of survival. The human toll is immense. Children grow up without friends, elders live their final days in isolation, and families are scattered like leaves in the wind. In Japan, rural towns are shrinking at an unprecedented pace. Young people migrate to cities for opportunity, leaving behind aging populations. Schools close, shops shutter, and traditions that lasted centuries fade quietly into memory. Experts call it marginalization by geography, a slow disappearance that almost feels invisible until you stand in the empty streets and hear the silence. And then there are towns swallowed by ambition, places erased to make way for dams, reservoirs, or industrial projects. Homes are bulldozed, cemeteries relocated, and the land repurposed, as if the past had no claim on the future. For those who lived there, it is a profound loss of identity, of community, of belonging. Anthropologists say the trauma lingers for generations. The children of displaced families grow up with ghost stories, not legends, with maps that mark where their homes once were. But perhaps the most unsettling disappearances are the ones without clear cause. Towns that once thrived only to empty mysteriously, with no single disaster or policy to blame. Sociologists have found patterns, economic shifts, climate anomalies, sometimes subtle social changes that make life unsustainable. But for the residents, it's deeply personal. They tell stories of neighbors moving away, of streets growing quieter week by week, until the town itself feels like a fading memory. Walking through these abandoned streets, you notice the little details. A swing swaying in the wind, a forgotten toy in the middle of a cracked driveway, a faded sign welcoming visitors that nobody comes to see. These towns are more than geography, they are lives frozen in time. And yet, in their silence, they tell us something vital about human resilience, about fragility, and about the choices we make when the world around us changes faster than we can adapt. Perhaps the towns themselves aren't disappearing entirely. Perhaps they live on in memory, in photographs, in the stories that those who left tell. And perhaps they are a warning, whispered softly through empty streets, that nothing is permanent, that communities are fragile, and that the heartbeat of a town depends entirely on the people who give it life. And so, when you pass through a quiet street, or see a for sale sign in a place that once pulsed with life, remember, these towns are not just gone. They are lessons, echoes of lives lived, and reminders of how quickly the world can change, quietly, irrevocably, and invisibly, leaving only stories behind.